everyone. And the next agenda item is a Pledge of Allegiance. Will Commissioner Chua lead us in the pledge? Commissioner Chua, you probably want to unmute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And the next agenda item is a roll call, and will the Commission Secretary conduct a roll call, please?
Good evening, everyone. I will now take attendance. Chair Tao.
Here.
Commissioner Ablaza. Commissioner Chuan.
Here.
Vice Chair Alcorn.
Here.
Commissioner Chua.
Here.
Commissioner Belong.
Present.
And Commissioner Albana.
Here.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Medina. Appreciate it. And the next agenda item here is a conflict of interest declaration. City Attorney, will you poll the commissioners, please? City Attorney, would you unmute?
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I asked whether any of the commissioners have a conflict of interest on any of the items before you tonight.
The chair, I'm sorry, did I hear a Commissioner Chua?
Yes. I sent an email to Attorney Los Angeles.
Yes, Commissioner, I received your email and I responded.
So what
Yeah,
do you
sorry.
advise?
So you're disclosing that you received a contribution. Yeah, I think because the amount is within the limit, that should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm okay, Chair Tao.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Chua. And the chair is hereby declaring and recusing himself from both public hearing items on the list on tonight's special meeting agenda. As the property owner for the two properties has been a source of income to me in the past. And at such appropriate time, I will recuse and turn the meeting over to Vice Chair to conduct through the adjournment of the special meeting. Thank you. And next agenda item is approval of the special meeting agenda. Staff, any changes?
We have no changes for the agenda tonight. I would like to add a word of explanation though for the public, anyone in the public that's watching. We're having the special meeting tonight because we had these two items already scheduled for tonight. And then our meeting 2 weeks ago was canceled due to unforeseen circumstances of there were some internet outage in Milpitas, in various places in Milpitas. So in an abundance of caution, we moved the item that was on the agenda 2 weeks ago to tonight. And in order to avoid a very long meeting, we moved these two items into a special meeting so we could start a little bit earlier and get them out of the way. And then we can focus on the larger item that will be the subject of your regular meeting starting at 7 o'clock tonight. So I just wanted to make that clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, staff. And the commissioners, any changes? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for the special meeting of October 14th.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Chuan. And can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay. And so we have a motion and a second, and I'll go ahead and go down to do a roll call of the commissioners on the vote. Now, Commissioner Albana.
Aye.
Thank you. And Commissioner Belong.
Aye.
Commissioner Blaza is not here. And Commissioner Chuan.
Aye.
Commissioner Chua.
Aye.
Vice Chair Alcorn.
Aye.
And Chair's aye as well. So motion approved 6-0. And thank you very much. And the next item here is a public hearing. So, and the chair has declared the recusal. So I will hereby virtually be gone. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. All right, I will take over from here until the very end of the meeting. So as he said, the next item on the agenda is the first public hearing item. Planning Director, did you want to set this up?
Sure. Thank you, Vice Chair Alcorn. We have two, as you can see on our agenda, we have two public hearing items tonight. Both of them happen to be on McCarthy Boulevard within close proximity to one another, but the first one that we will hear is a liquor license. It's actually a conditional use permit amendment to allow the sale of beer and wine for we call off-premises consumption. So that's where you purchase it at the location and then consume it elsewhere. This is at an existing convenience store, the Chevron Extra Mile. It's located at 1625 North McCarthy Boulevard. This project, the convenience store was completed just a few years ago, and now they're coming back for this license in order to sell beer and wine. And we have our Associate Planner Lillian Van Hoa here to present the staff report. Thank you.
Thank you, Planning Director. Real quick, Commissioner Chuan, did you have a quick question?
Yeah, seeing that we didn't have any announcements on the agenda, just wanted to make one comment regarding one of the items on the agenda. I did meet with the applicant regarding the second item. So I just wanted to disclose that.
Thank you, Commissioner Chuan. Commissioner Chua?
Thank you, Vice Chair. I too met via Zoom with the applicant on item number 2.
Thank you, Commissioner Chua. Did anyone else meet with the applicant? And they want to, if you did, it would be good to disclose that now. It should be on all of our calendars, but I too met with the applicant for item number 2, not item number 1, but item number 2. And so thank you, commissioners, for disclosing that. And Lillian, if you'd like to start the staff report now, unless anyone else has anything. Oh,
I wanted to say something. Yeah, I did meet the applicant number 2, but one of his consultants had wanted to explain what the meeting was about. So, but not to the details of it. But that's all. I was very busy and I didn't have time to meet with them.
okay. Thank you very much. Sorry, I couldn't see everyone back then, but I can see everyone now. Did anyone else have any comments before we get started with item number 1? Okay, perfect. So Lillian, if you could take it away, that'd be great.
Sure. Thank you, Vice Chair, and thank you, Director Thomas. And good evening, commissioners. As mentioned, the item in front of you tonight is a conditional use permit amendment to allow the sale of beer and wine at the Chevron Extra Mile convenience store located at 1625 North McCarthy Boulevard. Next slide, please. The applicant requests a conditional use permit amendment to allow the sale of beer and wine for off-premises consumption. This specific license type is identified by the Alcohol Control Board of California, the ABC, as a Type 20 off-sale beer and wine package store license. A conditional use permit, which requires planning commission review, is required for the sale of any alcohol in the general commercial C2 zone. Next, please. This map shows the general location of the site in regards to the neighborhood. The project is located in the northwest section of the city, west of Interstate 880, and both south and east of the city's boundary. The site is surrounded by undeveloped land, except for the city's main sewage pump station to the south. And then obviously there's the now Flora and Decor to the north, and then the extra space storage facility to the south. All of these projects were recently completed late last year, so that's why the satellite imagery is a little bit out of date. Next slide. The general plan and zoning ordinance designates this site as general commercial C2 zoning. where alcohol sales is a conditionally permitted use. The surrounding properties include the industrial park MP zone to the north, park and open space to the west, industrial park to the east, and then park and open space to the south. Next slide, please. On June 18th, 2020, the applicant filed an application to amend the existing conditional use permit UP 17-0005 to allow the sale of beer and wine for off-site consumption, ABC license type 20 at an existing Chevron Extra Mile convenience store. The previous conditional use permit was approved in August 23rd, 2017 by the Planning Commission, and it allowed the operation of a Chevron service station and convenience store within the C2 General Commercial Zoning District. The existing store is approximately 3,182 square feet and currently open 24 hours a day. The applicant is requesting to sell beer and wine between the hours of 6 a.m. and midnight daily. There are no other changes to the site or building. Next slide, please. Here we see the proposed floor plan and the general display areas for both beer and wine. The beer and wine display will be less than 10% of the overall store size. Employees will be on duty between 10 p.m. and 12 a.m. must be at least 21 years of age to sell beer and wine. The cooler doors containing beer will be locked from midnight to 6 a.m. daily. The applicant has assured staff that once the doors are locked, there is no way for someone to grab product from an adjacent cooler door, as there is not enough room for an arm to reach the other side. And then the wine display on the other side of the store will be covered with a dedicated wine cover or drape each night. And all employees will receive a responsible alcoholic beverage service training offered by the state of California. And all employees engaged in the sale of beer and wine will have to sign the clerk's affidavit. The affidavit and training has regulations set forth on such things as attempts to purchase alcohol by a minor and obviously intoxicated persons. Next slide, please. There will be additional measures implemented and conditioned as part of the resolution. There will be 32 high definition surveillance cameras installed throughout the property, 16 indoor and 16 outdoor. Surveillance footage will be stored for at least 30 days and made available to law enforcement upon request. There will be no exterior advertising, window signs, or on the motor fuel island advertising beer and wine products. And any person who appears younger than 30 years of age must provide identification to purchase alcohol. The point of sale system will also require the cashier to scan the ID to validate the age, and no alcohol will be sold if the customer is a minor. The city's police department has also reviewed this application and proposed security measures and made no additional comments. Next slide, please. A notice was published in the Milpitas Post. A sign was placed at the property and postcards were sent to 85 residents and landowners located within 1,000 feet of the subject site. As of this evening, staff has not received any public comment. Next slide, please. This project is exempt from further environmental review under CEQA section 15301, existing facilities, and section 15183, projects consistent with a community plan, general plan, or zoning, as the project proposes a commercial use that is consistent with the Milpitas general plan and zoning ordinance and conforms to all required development standards. Next slide, please. Staff has confirmed that the project meets the findings associated with a conditional use permit as set out in the Milpitas Municipal Code. Those findings have been addressed in the resolution and discussed in the staff report. Next. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission open and close the public hearing and they adopt resolution 20-017 recommending that the Planning Commission approve conditional use permit amendment number UA 20-0006 to allow the off sale of beer and wine for an existing convenience store subject to the findings and conditions of approval. This concludes staff's summary of the project. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And then we also have the consultant here on behalf of the Chevron gas station to speak as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much. We're gonna do things by virtual hands for this. So if anyone has a question for staff, please raise your virtual hand, and then I will facilitate from there. Does anyone have any questions or comments for staff? I'm not seeing anything. And if the virtual hand's not working for you, you can also raise your physical hand. I'm looking at all you guys. Okay. Oh, I don't see any. Oh, wait, I do see. Oh, no. Okay. No commissioners. Okay. So can we have the consultant with the applicant come up? And if he has any comments he would like to make, then he can make those now.
Yes, hi, good evening. I'm Steve Rawlings, and I'm here on behalf of the owners and operators of this particular Extra Mile store. This is not their first store. They own several stores. One that we worked on together lately was in Gilroy, California, and then they purchased the store, I believe, within the last year. And they are, looking to operate this very, very long term. They're not. They're building a business, and they've been very successful, not only in terms of the business, but in terms of their reception from the community as being really good operators, clean stores, very good merchandise, excellent employee training. For the record, we concur with the staff's recommendation, and we do agree to all of the conditions of approval as presented in the resolution. And with that, I am available for any questions that anybody may have.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant? I see any virtual hands here. Commissioner Belong, go for it.
So I'm just curious. I know alcohol sales are till 2 a.m. in California. Why is the cutoff at midnight?
Typically because, there's a lot of reasons to cut it off at midnight. And a lot of it is just simply that we're not interested in that kind of crowd. After midnight, our primary business is really to sell fuel to people and not so much in groceries. And we just feel like it's a higher level of security for our store by just stopping the sales at midnight. We don't want people to know that they can buy beer at our place at 1:30 in the morning. That's not really what our goal is for this beverage. And so it's something that was more or less offered as kind of our standard operating procedure to just end sales at midnight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Belong. If you could please lower your virtual hand there. Is there anyone else who has any questions for the applicant here? Well, all right. I do not see any. So do we have any comments, public comments regarding this agenda item?
Right now, we have one attendee who has a comment. Are we going to open it up for public comment?
Well, I don't see any more comments from the commissioners. I don't have any comments personally, so I say we open it up to public comment, and then we can wrap back around for final thoughts after that.
So we have one attendee who wants to talk. Mr. Irvish Mehta, did you did you register?
Yes, Elizabeth. Thank
Oh,
you.
there you are. There you go, Urvish.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to good evening to the Planning Commission Chair, Vice Chair, and entire commissioners and city staff. I just wanted to provide insight over here that as per the Caldera Bill, State Assembly Bill 2897.
Oh, Mr. Mehta, we're not taking public comment that's not on the agenda. That will be at our primary meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, this right now, the public comments only have to do right now with the Chevron ABC liquor license.
Yes, sir. Well, this is with reference to the same only. I'm just requesting the commission to consider that, with the issuance of an alcoholic beverage license, if the commission could consider the Assembly Bill 2897 with the public convenience and the necessity on that, with respect to the undue concentration, that would be very helpful. And I just wanted to thank you for the consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And does that wrap up our public comment? Do we have any more?
We don't have any more in the queue, Vice Chair.
Okay. Can I have a motion to close if the commission feels so moved?
Make the motion to close the public hearing.
I second.
All right. We have a motion by Commissioner Chuan and a second by Commissioner Albana. The attorney likes it when I go down the line for votes. So let's go with this. I think Commissioner Blaza is still absent. Commissioner Chuan?
Aye.
Commissioner Chua?
Aye.
Commissioner Albana?
Aye.
Commissioner Belong?
Aye.
And I am I myself. All right, the public comment has been closed. All right, do we have any final thoughts or motions here?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the Planning Commission, approve the resolution number 20017. Do I have to read the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
ma'am.
All right. So I move that as the staff has recommended, that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 20-017, approving conditional use permit amendment number UA 20-006 to allow the sale of beer and wine for off-premises consumption. That's the ABC Type 20 license at an existing convenience store located at C2 General Commercial Zoning District at 1625 North McCarthy Boulevard, subject to the findings and the conditions of approval.
Sounds good to me.
I'll second.
Was that Commissioner Belong?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We have a motion by Commissioner Albana and a second by Commissioner Belong, and we will go down the line for the vote here. Commissioner Chuan?
Aye.
Commissioner Chua?
Aye.
Commissioner Albana?
Aye.
Commissioner Belong?
Aye.
And Vice Chair is aye. It has passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right. Moving on to the next item here, item number 2. Planning Director, would you mind setting us up?
Thank you, Vice Chair. Our second item tonight is a site development permit. It's to develop the new surface parking lot. We're referring to it as a quasi-public parking lot. As will be described in detail in a moment. There will be 247 private parking spaces on the larger portion of the site and 11 public parking spaces on a separate, smaller portion of the site to the north. This public parking lot will continue to serve as parking for the nearby trailhead along Penitentiary Creek, or excuse me, Coyote Creek. There's an existing trailhead there, an existing parking lot, and this project includes substantial upgrades to that area. And then there are some other improvements that will be made that will also be described in the presentation. We have our assistant planner, Avery Stark, here, who's the project manager, and he'll give you the details.
Hey, Avery, how you doing? Well, we
All
got
right, there we go. Can we hear me?
we can hear you. How you doing?
Good evening. Thank you, Director Thomas. Good evening, Vice Chair and Commissioners. As mentioned, the item in front of you is a site development permit to allow the development of a new quasi-public surface parking lot located at 1207 North McCarthy Boulevard. Next, please. The applicant requests a site development permit to develop a quasi-public surface parking lot with up to 247 parking spaces on an approximately 5-acre portion of the project site, and up to 11 public spaces on a separate 0.22 acre portion of the site, with lighting, landscaping, and other associated site improvements that I will discuss later in this presentation. A site development permit, which requires zoning administrative review, has been elevated to the Planning Commission for review of said parking facility under the public, quasi-public, and assembly use listed on the recreation and entertainment overlay of the subject parcel. Next. This map shows the general location of the site in regards to its area. The project site is a single undeveloped 5.22 gross acre parcel located along McCarthy Boulevard within the McCarthy Ranch Master Plan area. The site is located west of I-880, just south of the city's main pump station and the northwest corner of the city of Milpitas, very close to the previous project that was mentioned and presented by Lillian. Next. The property is zoned Industrial Park MP with a recreation and entertainment overlay, and the neighboring properties are zoned Industrial Park and Park Open Space. Next. On February 14th, 2020, we received an application to develop the quasi-public surface parking lot at 1207 North McCarthy Boulevard. The proposed standalone parking facility may be leased by a variety of potential users, but at this time, not one has been assigned or established. The north end of the site provides public access to the Coyote Creek Trailhead and currently includes 4 public parking stalls. The proposed project would expand this existing parking lot to 11 stalls, adding brand new landscaping, an internal sidewalk, and a concrete and to connect the public to the North McCarthy Boulevard. It also includes updates and refurbishing of existing benches, removal of and abatement of existing weeds, and planting of new landscaping at the trailhead access point. The proposed project also includes a private parking lot with 247 oversized parking spaces measuring 9 feet by 27 feet to serve as potential overflow parking for the current and future tenants of nearby industrial and commercial uses in the area. In addition to the new parking lots, the proposed project would include an approximately 0.2 mile concrete sidewalk and planting strip along the western side of North McCarthy Boulevard, which would connect the existing McCarthy Creekside development to the south. Next. The proposed project conforms to the development standards required in the Industrial Park Zoning District and Recreation and Entertainment Overlay. The project generally complies with the purpose and intent of the Recreation and Entertainment Overlay as described in the zoning ordinance, which allows for a unique mix of indoor and outdoor recreation and entertainment uses that attract patrons from the surrounding region. The proposed public, quasi-public parking facility is a permitted use in the RE overlay and would serve the general public with significant upgrades to the Coyote Creek public trailhead and parking lot. The project would include repaving the parking area and installing new sidewalks, again, landscaping, lighting, and signage to upgrade the public access to the Coyote Creek Trail. The applicant will not be constructing any new buildings on site. On-site vehicular circulation was reviewed and in accordance with generally accepted traffic engineering standards. The project would have 2 right-in out driveways on McCarthy Boulevard. In the parking lot, there would be 2 There'd be two-way drive aisles that lead to the parking spaces, and the parking lot would have 90-degree perpendicular parking spaces. The drive aisle width on site would be approximately 34 feet, which meets the city standard for a two-way drive aisle. The City of Milpitas off-street parking design standards for a standard car space requires for a 90-degree parking stall shall be at a minimum of 9 feet by 18 feet. Based on the site plan, the project would meet those requirements as well. Next. The parking facility's private and public portion would include approximately 79,384 square feet of new landscaping, site lighting to increase visibility and safety. The landscaping plan includes 96 new trees, roughly 1,000 water-efficient shrubs, living and non-living ground cover. It would also include continuous pedestrian island walkways to encourage and provide safe pedestrian path of travel to North McCarthy Boulevard. New landscaping will be installed along the entire McCarthy Ranch frontage to the project and extend southward to the existing McCarthy Creekside industrial development. Special consideration has been taken to provide transparent and secure viewing corridors to provide safety to the parking lot users entering and moving throughout the site. Next. A notice was published in the Milpitas Post and 2 signs were placed at the property and postcards were sent to 7 residents and landlords located within 300-foot radius of the project site. As of this evening, staff has not received any public comment. Next. The city has prepared an addendum to the 2009 McCarthy Ranch Environmental Impact Report in accordance with California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA. The proposed modification to the original project have been reviewed in light of the required sections and explained in the addendum attached to this application. None of the conditions that would apply trigger, supplement, or subsequent EIR. Specifically, no significant impacts will result from the implementation of the proposed changes as compared to the previously analyzed impacts, nor are there any substantial increases in the severity or significant environmental impacts identified under the original EIR. The impacts would be the same or similar impacts previously approved for this project site. Next. Staff has confirmed the project meets the findings associated with a site development permit set out in the municipal code. Those findings have been addressed in resolution discussed in the staff report. 1, the site does not include any new buildings or structures. The new quasi-public surface parking lot includes extensive landscaping to provide screening and shade and visually reduce the parking area scale. Related site improvements will complement the McCarthy Ranch area. The design conforms again to the McCarthy Ranch design guidelines in addressing compact, walkable development and connections between land uses, recreational opportunities, and addresses the open space need for the area. The project and associated is consistent with the Milpitas general plan as demonstrated in outline table 2 of the staff report, and the project associated use and development criteria are consistent with the Milpitas zoning ordinance as demonstrated and outlined in table 4 of the staff report. Next. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission open and close the public hearing and consider the addendum to the 2009 McCarthy Ranch Environmental Impact Report and adopt resolution number 20-018, approving site development permit SD 20-002 to allow the development of a new quasi-public surface parking lot and associated site improvements, subject to the findings and attached conditions of approval. This concludes staff summary of the project. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Thank you. All righty. So commissioners, let's stick with the virtual hands here. I got them all in front of me. Does anyone have any questions or comments for staff? Go ahead, throw those hands up. All right, Commissioner Belong. I was afraid you were all going to be quiet again. All right, go ahead, Commissioner Belong.
I guess I'll keep with the theme from the last subject. I'm just curious on hours. Is the parking lot going to be 24 hours? And what's going to be, I guess, a deterrent from people staying overnight in the parking lot? if
So,
it-
yeah, so the hours of operation, because there's no assigned tenant at this time, have not been determined. It would just be considered a parking lot. But as far as deterring any unwanted guests or visitors, not only does the site include significant lighting that has met the requirements of the police department to provide adequate security for the site, there is also the required parking signs will be installed to deter anyone from overnight parking that wouldn't otherwise be allowed on site, pending the potential new user or tenant.
Okay, so there will be postings on site.
There will be postings that conform depending on the tenant themselves and what they may need for their site, and if they choose to have on-site security or a service that may provide security to the area, depending again on the user.
Okay, and then in one of the photos, I seen the existing parking lot has a pathway that connects to the Coyote Creek path. In the proposed picture, I don't see any connection. So is there going to be only the one connecting path through the existing parking lot, or?
So the existing site, upon site inspection, essentially you approach the parking lot. You have the Milpitas pump station to the north. The parking lot itself is the walkway to the Coyote Creek trailhead. So this new improvement will include an additional 5-foot wide concrete walkway that will run between the private and the public portion of the parking lots and provide direct access to the trailhead, which will be refurbished and updated as well. So yes, there is still going to be access and it will be maintained.
Okay. Thank you, Vice Chair. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Go ahead and lower your virtual hand there. Thank you. Is there any other comments or questions from commissioners here for staff? All right, I do not see any raised hands. Again, if you're having, oh, Commissioner Chua, I see you. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I think it's the third slide. Where it shows the trail. We really like the trail. It goes all the way, this one. It goes all the way from Dixon Landing I think, to McCarthy. Is that this one? Oh, you can't see my arrow. But anyway, so this is accessible to the public. They can actually use this for bikes and also for walking, for exercise, which is a good feature of this quasi-public parking. Now, I just wanted to point that out. And also, oh, yeah, this one. I think this is the one. So anybody can bring their bike and use this to be outdoors, which is a good thing. And there's a lot of trees and lots of trees. So I like it. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. I agree. I do like the community benefit aspect of this, where they're redoing the parking. I don't know if you guys have seen the current parking for the Coyote Creek Trail. I think there's a grand total of 4 parking spots, and it's a little bit on the heavily used side. It's been there for a while, so this would be a good little revamp of that. All right, before we bring it over to the applicant, if he has anything to say. Oh, Commissioner Albana, I see you. Go ahead. You're muted there, so go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I wanted to ask, I saw there's a public and there's a private. So is the public open to the residents of Milpitas? Like as what Commissioner Chu has mentioned, that the residents could possibly park and then bring down their bikes and bike around during early evenings. So when you say public and private, public is that open to the residents? Would it have a very good impact for the residents, the use of it?
Yes, so the Coyote Creek Trailhead is open to Milpitas residents or anyone within, the valley who may want to choose to come and recreate at that site, be it for walking, running. It would be a great access point for biking and potentially a connector for someone who's going to be using the Milpitas BART station in the future. This might be their access point for on their bike ride home, or they may use the Coyote Creek Trail to access the city. But it will be open to the public in accordance with the hours of operation for any public parking lot within the Recreation and Department's facilities, and it will be maintained by the applicant in perpetuity. So the maintenance of both the private and the public portion will also be maintained by the applicant as outlined in the conditions of approval.
And for the residents, that would be free, or there would be a fee?
There's no fee for anyone to access the Coyote Creek Trailhead currently, and there will be no fee going forward to access that free parking. It's free parking available to the public. There's no gate and there's no security.
Okay, thank you, Avery. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, so let's. I see Joe's on the call here. Did the applicant want to make any comments or give a presentation or anything here?
Sure.
Oh, we got a presentation. I love it. How you doing, Joe?
Great. How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Great. Members of the Planning Commission, thank you for hearing our item tonight. I'd like to give you a brief history of our company as well as the public benefits of this project. Next slide, please. Our family has owned the property in Milpitas since the late 1800s. The land was primarily a farm with row crops and a packing shed. As Milpitas and its surrounding cities started to grow around the late 1980s, development began to encroach on our property. Next slide, please. This is when our farming operation began to transform into a real estate operation. We continued to farm until 2010 when we decided to shut down the operation and focus on real estate development. Next slide, please. As you can see in this aerial taken in 1998, development in San Jose and Milpitas had really taken off. Fast forward to 2020 and all of our property has been developed except for the 5 acres that we are here tonight to discuss. Next slide, please. I want to thank staff for all their hard work they've put into this project. They've done an amazing job keeping this on schedule while working out of their homes and navigating a pandemic. We couldn't have done it without them, and we really appreciate all their work. When we first sat down with staff, it was clear from the start that we both wanted to improve the access to Coyote Creek so that the community can enjoy the open space and trail. As part of the project, we're going to improve the existing parking lot as Avery outlined and improve the parking lot and trail access so that the public can more easily access the trail. We'll also be completing the frontage improvements along McCarthy Boulevard so that a pedestrian could walk on McCarthy Boulevard from Dixon Landing Road all the way to Highway 237. I appreciate you guys taking the time to hear our item tonight. And if there's any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any questions or comment for the applicant here? I don't know if the virtual hands are working all that well, so you can go ahead and speak up or raise your hand, and we'll call on you. Anyone? All righty. All right, Commissioner Chuan, I see you. There it is. Go for it.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I just don't have a question, just wanted to make a comment and just want to thank the applicant for his time to present that. And, I just wanted to comment that I appreciate that, the benefits he had in mind, for the community. That's the only comment I had.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Do we have anyone else? I'm going to go ahead and echo Commissioner Chuan's comment. I do appreciate the work put into the public benefit aspect of this here. I appreciate that work a lot. It's definitely, it would be a big upgrade from what's already there. All right, that being said, I don't see anyone else. wanting to speak. So do we have any public comments for item number 2 here?
There's no one in the queue for public comment, Vice Chair.
All right. Well, so the public comment has been opened up. Can we get a motion to go ahead and close that off?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Was that Commissioner Belong? All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Chua and a second by Commissioner Belong. All right, let me go down the line here. Commissioner Chuan,
Aye.
Commissioner Chua,
Aye.
Commissioner Albana,
Aye.
Commissioner Belong,
Aye.
and I myself am an aye. Public comment is closed. All right, now do we have any last minute comments or motions here? Commissioner Chuan,
If no one has any comments, I'd like to make a motion.
go for it.
Let's see 1 second here.
Do
Yeah,
you
I'd
want
like-
staff to put recommendation back
yes,
up?
please.
We put the slide.
IT, put the recommendation slide back up, staff's recommendation. Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 20-018, approving site development permit number SD 20-0002 to allow development of a new quasi-public surface parking lot and associated site developments subject to the findings and attached conditions of approval, and consider the addendum to the 2009 McCarthy Ranch Environmental Impact Report.
I second.
Was that Commissioner Albana?
Yes.
All right, perfect. We have a motion by Commissioner Chuan and a second by Commissioner Albana. I will go down the line and vote. Commissioner Chuan,
Aye.
Commissioner Chua,
Aye.
Commissioner Albana,
Aye.
Commissioner Belong,
Aye.
and myself as an aye. It is approved. Congratulations. Alrighty, that was the last item for this special meeting. Before we adjourn the meeting, I would like to give a reminder to all the planning commissioners that we do have another 7 o'clock meeting with a different Zoom link. And for the public who's watching too, all the other items for tonight will be on a separate stream, a separate video if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. And for the planning commissioners here, it will be a separate Zoom link that we will all log out of this one, and we will open up the next Zoom link, and we'll start that at 7 o'clock. Try and get there a couple minutes early if you can. Go get some water, get a snack, and get ready for the next meeting. All right. Can we have let's do the legal parts here. Any person aggrieved by the final decision of any board, commission, or department head of the city of Milpitas may appeal the decision to the city council by filing written notice of the appeal with the city clerk within 12 calendar days of the date of said decision and paying the required fee. This time limit shall be strictly enforced. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
Motion
adjourn.
to adjourn. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
Aye.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. It passes unanimously. All right. Remember to log out of this and join the other Zoom link for the next meeting at 7 o'clock. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you in a little bit.